Good morning, everybody. This is OSensei Joe from American Jiu-Jitsu Centers. We are here making another tape. So we made a whole series of tape from white belt all the way to 4th degree black belt. Now we're kind of going backwards and we're making more teaching tapes. In other words, the tapes that we made were more reviews for students within the American Jiu-Jitsu system. All right, and this will allow these people, anybody who watches this will allow yourself to learn some of these techniques a little bit more specific than what I would call more teaching type tapes. Last couple tapes have been a technique called Koto Gaeshi, which means the leaf hand, and today we're going to finish up the leaf hand with some more self-defense techniques. Always remember to get all of our tapes, you go to American Jiu-Jitsu LI on our Facebook group page or our YouTube page. That has a complete library of everything that we're doing and allows you to study and have contents to work at this stuff at home. We also have Zoom classes at ajjcenters.com. We have classes 4 to 5 times a day, and you can get your codes and your Zoom codes from there. And if you get a little messed up with that, if you don't know the passwords, just email me at americanjiujitsuli@gmail.com. Identify who you are, and I'll send you the password to get into our Zoom classes. I'm blessed by having my partners, Shion, Kathy, and Billy, continuously helping me with these videos and allowing you to see it done with a person. We do practice our social distancing just to keep everybody safe. We're hoping for an opening date soon. We don't know when it's going to be, but we're hoping. Right now we're at the end of June and we're hoping for sometimes in July, but we just don't know. We just need an approval by the politicians and we're up and ready. Our place is sanitized, our place is socially distanced out. If you look at the mats, everything's socially distanced at 6 foot apart. We're shielded, we're everything. We have all the protective equipment and we even have our new computer on the mat so we can Zoom classes continuously after this, as well as our belt system all on that. So let's look at some rear attacks into Koto Gaeshi and give you some information and some knowledge so you can be training at home on a regular basis. Always remember something, that when you love something, I've had many students in the last couple of days give me a call and say how much they miss in jiu-jitsu. I miss teaching you. This is a way of me reaching out to you. This is a way of us reaching out to you. But the reality is we, of course, miss the training. But that doesn't give you an excuse to sit on the couch and just play video games or watch Netflix. I do like both. But you got to keep the brain going. The world's in a little bit of anarchy here. Self-defense, I think, is more important than ever. So when people say, when are you going to use this stuff? Look out your window and watch a couple hundred people marching down the street and just not knowing what they're doing. I do believe in peaceful protest, but once it gets violent, I believe you have a right to defend yourself, and that's what we're all about. We're not about fighting. We're not about hurting people. We're about protecting ourselves and stopping people from hurting us. So pay attention, learn some knowledge. If a person grabs you in any of these positions, you'll be equipped to know what to do. So we did some front self-defense techniques. We said that with Tazabaki, with the first 4 that we demonstrated on the last tape, it's about going to the corners. You have to unravel somebody with a Koto Gaeshi. If you're in too close quarters, you're not going to use this technique. It's a wonderful submission without necessarily having to choke somebody. We know there's a lot of controversy right now with those chokes, but it's another way. One thing that's nice that's Koto Gaeshi is that besides submitting somebody, it brings the person right to the ground. So with this technique, by turning the wrist beyond it's supposed to do, it brings the person right down to the ground. It can cause extreme pain or actually even snap, crack, and pop that wrist right out. All right, so let's look at the first one where the person grabs this in a hammerlock. Now in a hammerlock, again, we gotta unravel. So as he goes and turns, he's gonna come all the way around back, 180-degree turn. He's gonna take her hand, lead it forward to put her in an off-balance stage, and then he's gonna drop back with his left leg, curl it out, and he's got that reverse Koto Gaeshi. So the interesting thing about this technique is as he goes and turns, if Kathy pushes forward, he's gonna let her push forward, right? Then he's gonna come over the top, grab that hand, step back with the left leg, and there's the Koto Gaeshi. So a lot of times people say, well, what if? If Shion Billy was to do this technique and he was to turn and right away stop right there, he could punch. He could break the person's arm. He could knee strike. He could elbow strike. We're just not committed. So when people watch these videotapes, they're like, well, I won't want to do that technique. First of all, don't comment unless you're trained. Listen and learn. That's what you need to do first. We all need to do that first, okay? 2 ears, 1 mouth. And realize that this technique is at a blue-black level, and there's a whole arsenal of other techniques that you learn before you learn this. So as your wisdom, knowledge, and your ability to deal with situations grow, so do your techniques. So as the techniques get a little bit more advanced, to the untrained eye, they look like they're not believable, or they look like, oh, they always feel like, well, the person's going with them. They don't have to go with them, but they're gonna get hurt, okay? And if for some reason the person pulled back and the Koto Gaeshi wasn't there, we'll strike. We have an arsenal of things that we can do. So please watch these with open mind and open heart. Allow us to train you if you're that interested, or send me a question and I'll be glad to answer it. We've been honored to teach at the Pentagon, West Point, almost every law enforcement there is. We know what we're doing, and we would love to teach it to you. So please don't have a negative comment, have a question, and we welcome that. Have a negative comment and just swipe past this and go to the next video. Thank you so much. All right, so let's look at another technique. So that was 2 hands from the back. Now we're gonna deal with, hammerlock. All right, now we're doing a forearm choke. So this changes it up a little bit. Another technique that I taught before called the Koto Gaeshi Maki. What happens, we're in close quarter combat. So if he did a little strike to the person's face, bang, now he's gonna control her elbow and kind of turn to his oblique, and look at that, he feeds that right through. This is a very, very, very dangerous technique. If he stepped back with his leg, he'd rip that shoulder right off her person's body. Okay? If he stepped back, which is the way we showed it in the beginning, he's gonna bring it down with a very nasty technique. Maki means to wrap. Like when you go to sushi and you get a sushi roll or a maki roll. So what he's doing here, a little bit different than the regular Koto Gaeshi, is he's wrapping it. See that wrap right there? But he still has that Koto Gaeshi. That's why it's called the Koto Gaeshi Maki. And now he just steps forward in this case and brings it down gently so she doesn't get hurt. But if he took that leg and stepped back, you could just imagine the damage. The other thing that's very diversified, I guess you could say, with this technique is he could turn 180 degrees if he wanted to. So from here, he could bring her, he could turn to me and throw it. See, he can turn anywhere he wants with this. He has total control. In the beginning, at this level, we just say go to the back, because we want to minimize the risk of injury, all right? But the truth is that you can go 360 degrees with this technique. Now, the last technique on this belt is a straight wrist grab into a reverse Koto Gaeshi. Now, if you look at the first tape we did on punches, this was the first technique that we did. A lot of times I'll start and end with the same kind of a concept on the list, all right? So what's happening here is the person's pushing. Billy's gonna go up and bring his thumb to his nose, actually, from here. Straight. Just bring your thumb to the nose and feed it underneath. Yeah. Just right here. Now, let's do it one more time, a little slower. So watch what happens. He's creating, because she's pushing him, all right, and he's creating the off balance. Now he's doing it slowly. The first time you saw her go down very quickly, but I want him to do it a little slow so you can see it. So just go back to that one more time and stop there. Stop before you grab, okay? He's creating that. Now you see he opened the hand up. He's taking the 3 fingers, put it around the thumb, and now from here just peels it off and boom, brings it right down, okay? As we get higher up in rank, it's very hard almost sometimes to slow it down because it is a magical technique. Let's look at those techniques one more time, all right? So let's look at that hammerlock, all right? He's gonna go 180-degree turn. He brings the hand over the top, grabs the wrist, steps back, and there's your Koto Gaeshi. Beautiful. The next technique was the forearm choke into Koto Gaeshi Maki. From here, he hits, he controls the elbow, brings him down, steps forward, and there's your Koto Gaeshi Maki. And the last one is going to be a reverse Koto Gaeshi, which is going to bring the thumb to the nose, palm up, grabs the wrist, brings him down, takes her down, and then finishes off with what we call a Teigatami, which is an armbar pin. All right, so those are your rear attacks into Koto Gaeshi Maki, and reverse Koto Gaeshi. Very controlled techniques that would put a person down. If you're in law enforcement, would allow you to cuff the person without dealing any vital or areas that can cause a little bit more destruction. We hope you enjoy watching these tapes. Remember, for references, American Jiu-Jitsu LI, YouTube, Facebook, and Gmail. ajjcenters.com is our website. If you need to see our virtual classes, please do so. Now, I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're getting out a little bit. I hope you're still protecting yourself. Remember, self-defense is about protecting yourself. In times like today, it's still about protecting yourself, so do what you do and make yourself feel comfortable and make people that you're involved with feel comfortable as well. we appreciate you watching these things. We wouldn't be making them if you weren't watching them. We hope to open up soon. We will keep you posted and keep you up to date on our progress. But in the meantime, thank you, Kathy and Billy, for helping with these tapes. We hope to see you soon at the studio. Thank you for viewing. Have a great day.